Today on tourdefrancetips.com reviewing the EVOC travel bike bag. Before I start, there's a post on tourdefrancetips.com comparing this bike bag to the Aerocomfort Plus by Scicon, the Polaris bike pod and a travel bike box just that you get from an airline. It's got a bit of video as well. And there's also a video in a separate post showing how to get your bike into this bike bag and some photos as well. So go check those out on the website. Just there's a Google bar, do a search and all. Just search for bike bag or bike bag shootout or video and it'll pop up. Now there's a few things I look for in a bike bag. Compactability is one of them. So you can see this one packs down pretty well. Agility in the airport when you're moving it around. Weight. Robustness, so how well it's put together, the zips, the wheels, all that sort of stuff, and also how well it protects the bike, obviously, and all these things go towards the utility of the bike bag or how useful it is. So my first thing is this one. It's pretty compact, so if you're in a camper van with a couple of friends or with one person, or when you're storing it, it packs down pretty well. There's certainly a couple of other products that probably pack down a little bit smaller, but this is pretty good. So let's get it out of the bag. I've already had it out to put my bike in just to see what it's like. Now I weighed this thing yesterday and it's about 6 kilos, and with the bike in it comes out to about 16, I think, so 6 or 7 kilos, so it's not too heavy. The first thing we noticed when we open it up a little bit, well, the first thing I noticed anyway, I flipped it over to look at how well it was put together. You can see plastic rails to keep it nice and protected on the bottom, and the wheels. The wheels are pretty well made and looks pretty strong and reinforced through here. Now a lot of travel bags, bike bags or luggage bags crack through here or around here. This looks like it's pretty strong. Another thing I noticed is, this bash material, it's almost like a rubber or latex or something to stop this material getting scratched around the corners where it's likely to get bumped by baggage handlers. The zips on this bag are YKK zips, so they're the best in the world, or the market leader anyway, so I think you're pretty cool there. You can see there's a bit more bash material here and in the front. For the baggage handlers, because we always want to keep them happy, there's lots of handles on the front, on the sides, on the very front and on the back as well, so good for you lifting it into the car, and also for the baggage handlers as I mentioned. Next thing I notice about this bike bag is in terms of the agility stakes. You can lift it up here and really, like when you're checking in at the airport, you'll be able to move it around at check-in lines and stuff like that. I've had other bike bags where you don't have that sort of agility. It's a real pain in the bum. So that's a big tick for this bike bag as well. So next thing, when we open it up, this thing is super adjustable. The rear of the bike sits here, so the bottom bracket through the stays here. This thing pops up and out, and you can move it back for mountain bikes, but for us, for road bikes, we move it forward a little bit more. All the straps, this is to hold the bike down. There's internal straps here for seat posts, across the frame, the top tube. This is for the handlebars, the forks go in here. There's heaps of padding and straps. And if I look at the padding along the top, there's a lot of padding up the top here to protect the top of the bike. And the top of the handlebars will sit here, and the head tube here, so there's a load of padding. The next thing I wanted to point out, these come with it as well, and I'll get to these in a minute, is this bag doesn't ship with this item. This is a road bike converter. All this stuff is from Wiggle. Now there will be a link in the post to this. It's an affiliate link, so if you buy through that, I'll get a little commission, just to be honest about that. This road bike converter kit or adapter kit, basically it's only about $30 Australian or something like that. And what this does is it sits in the front here, your forks go in here, and then this strap here goes over the top of the bike, and that kind of just pads the bike back a little bit, and there's this thing wraps around the frame as well, just for a bit more protection. So This bag can actually be used by mountain bikers or by road bikers, so it's pretty pretty adaptable. Now, next thing I want to talk about is getting the bike in here. Now, my bike's just here. You can see the pedals are still on it. It's recommended you take the pedals off, but I've got the bike in here and left them on, so it's up to you. The handlebars need to come off. I've got Yokozuna cables which are pretty stiff, so it makes getting the handlebars in there a little bit tricky, but the handlebars basically go in the back here and the bike sits in front in the middle. There's a bit of internal pocket here, and the instructions come with the bag. They're pretty basic, but they're enough to get by. But the bag's very simple and intuitive. You can work your way through getting your bike in there very easily. Instructions come in there. Now, next thing I want to talk about is the wheel compartment. Zip that up so it stands up. Now, one wheel goes in this side and then one wheel on the other side in a similar compartment. This is a wheel compartment that goes back in here. We see two hard plates here which will protect the skewers come out, which will protect the hubs on either side. Now, these holes that I pulled out before, this is really cool, I like this. Four of these come with the bag, two for each side. You basically stick them in there, one in each, and stick the Velcro down. And this is extra bracing against the wheels to stop them being knocked in, so that's really well thought out. It's another cool little feature of this bag. I mean, this bag's really well thought out. Next thing I want to point out is in this little pack you get these fiberglass stringers, I guess you'd call them. Now, spin this thing around. In the rear of the bike bag, you'll see these little strips here. Now, these stringers basically go in there. The Velcro goes down and it helps the bike bags stand up because they're nice and stiff. So when the bike's in there and you're wheeling around the airport, it won't have a tendency to collapse down on itself because it's got that reinforcement there. That's another cool little feature. Little bash guard here as well. So overall, this bag I give it a 9 out of 10. It's a really solid bag. Internal material is like surfboard bag material, so you get grease on it and it's going to wipe off. In terms of how it meets up to the things I look for in a bike bag, compactability, you saw how well it packed down. If you're on the road in a camper van or something like that, or when you're storing it in the house, a couple of Vocky straps around it will keep it nice and tight and small. So you could even get two of these in a camper van travelling around or in the back of the car, whatever. In terms of robustness, you've seen we've got the sort of the bash or scratch material on the top here. Really good wheel construction and plastic strips on the bottom. Manoeuvrability, as I showed you, this thing can be picked up by a strap here on the front or one down the bottom. So it's very easy to move around. Also, in terms of weight, it's not that heavy. I think it's about 6 or 7 kilos, so it's not that heavy. And with the bike, it's about 16. So once you put shoes and tools, do not put a helmet in this. Get a separate helmet pod and take that on the plane. Once you get shoes and some tools, maybe you're looking at about 20 kilos or just under. In terms of protecting the bike, we've seen lots of padding along the top here. There's padding in the side. We've got the strips to protect the wheels. And also in terms of the adaptability of the bike, we saw this little block moves around for different size bikes, small, medium, large. We saw the adapter kit goes in there. The straps, actually, internal strap system can be moved to different positions for bigger bikes, so that's another good plus. Lots of internal straps to hold the bike in place, and you can put extra bubble wrap or something like that if you want. So overall, I'm really happy with this purchase. It's a great bike bag, and I highly recommend it. There's other products out there, but in terms of bang for buck, this was under $300 on Wiggle, Australian dollars on Wiggle. So in terms of bang for buck, this is a pretty good solution if you're after a bike bag. So if you're in the market for one, definitely check it out from Wiggle or wherever you can find it. Thanks for watching, and go check out the comparison between this bag and some others I did in a video post, and also just a normal post on tourdefrancetips.com. Thanks for watching and catch you later.